Right. Good morning, Massey family members. I am doing a series where we're going to go in and interview some of our golden family members, our elders, and ask them some questions about the past, about their childhood. And we want to be able to archive some of these memories for our family tree and family history. So this morning we have the pleasure of having Burrell Massey on, and that's one of our many namesakes because we've got quite a few Burrells. If you were paying attention to the Massey history video, Burrell is one of the sons, not this Burrell, but the original sons from Peter and Julia. Burrell is one of the four sons that they had. And so this Burrell and the Burrell beside him are descendants of Burrell Massey. So I'm grateful to have you guys on this morning. I want to ask you a number of questions, and hopefully we can get through this and learn a lot about parts of our Massey family here. All right.
I remember my father's brother's great attachment to him. Uncle George, he was my father's youngest brother. Okay. And when my mother died in 41, he lived in New York, and he somewhat attached himself to the family. Mm-hmm. And he would visit my father maybe once a month, and he lived in New York. And basically, I seen more of him, Uncle George, than I did the family that lived in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And Uncle George, he told me more about the family, and that was said in the 90s than my father did. My father's name was Robert Massey, and my mother's name was Anna Coley Massey.
Okay. Okay, and so Massey family, I'm looking at the family history video that we did, and so Burrell Massey and Frances Whitehurst had 8 children, and they were Monroe, Olenza, Willa D, Robert Massey, who is Burrell's father, George Massey, who is his uncle he's talking about, Jesse Massey, Lubby Massey, and Tom Massey, Tom Frank Massey.
I was basically with my father, Uncle George Massey, and my mother's brother, T. Coley.
Okay. Okay.
Favorite thing that I did when I was growing up?
Yes, sir.
Basically, when I was growing up, I spent my time in school, and I was an altar boy, so I spent my time in church, and very little time playing in the streets.
Okay.
Mommy, where did you meet Mommy?
It was then, I think I got discharged in 56.
In 56?
Yeah, how did you meet her though? That's what the question is. And where? How did your brother introduce you?
I met her through my brother.
Which one?
Elijah.
Tell her, you don't tell me. I know the story. Cassandra and the family wants to know how, how you guys met and where you guys met.
Tell all the gossip.
Do you remember Shirley? I know I didn't meet her alone.
We met in Dodge, and I think we was at, we was over Donna Hill house at a little party. Donna Hill.
Right.
Remember Donna Hill?
Right.
That live around the corner from y'all?
Right.
And that's where it was Liza, you and me there, and somebody else. It was a little party.
Donna Hill's cousin. I don't remember his
I
name,
don't remember his name.
but he was a big guy.
Right now, girl.
I think he liked Doris.
No, he did not like dogs. He liked me.
He did?
And you know we got drama, Cassandra, here.
I hear it. That's why I say, can she come on the camera or she doesn't want to be on camera?
Can you come in?
No, she doesn't want to be on camera.
I want to. Okay, I understand that.
My first job,
Yes.
work in a grocery store after school. That was my first job.
Where?
Where? On Lancaster Avenue in Philadelphia.
You remember the grocery store name?
It was a fruit store.
What was it? You know, remember the name?
Herb Ben's.
Herb Ben, okay.
That's two names. It was Herman and Ben owned the store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What ethnicity were they? Were they Italian? Were they Jewish? Were they Irish?
They were Jewish.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me add, I was in the Navy for 3 years, 9 months, and 27 days. And it was quite an experience of my last 2 years. This officer from Oregon. He did not like black people. He called them those people. If you wasn't that's what he called them. I worked in the office, and the office was right side out of the wardroom, and I could hear him talking about them. And what did he do? Because matter of fact, he pushed me to a point where I wanted to blow his brains out.
Oh, good.
And because one night, I had the keys to the gun rack, and I was gonna get a gun and blow his damn brains out. So I was gonna do that after the lights out. I was doing the filing, and I read about a guy that black guy did the same thing, and he was sent to prison for life. And I thought about, I said, whoa, that's not for me.
Right.
He's leaving a couple of months. I put up with him till then. But he was hateful. He was, if he wasn't being a steward's mate, he didn't respect you. Matter of fact, he did not respect black officers. He called them people. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. He was terrible.
What was your job in the military? What branch? You said you were in the Navy?
I was what you call a yeoman. I worked in the office. I handled all the records of everybody, enlisted men and officers. And I often think my job in abandoned ship, I was to get all the records and get in the boat. And I often said, if I had to abandon ship, I wonder would the captain allow me to get in the boat, or just say, give me the records, Max, you get in the water. That's what I felt about it.
Okay.
Oh, have you swimming with the sharks, huh?
But it was a lifelong experience. Lifelong experience.
Was there a war during the time you were in the military?
Say again?
Was there a war during the time you were in the military?
Was there a war when you were in the military? Was there a war going on when you were in the military?
The Korean War.
Wow.
That, I think I went in 52. I think it ended sometime in peace was declared around 54. Korean War was going on.
To listen to growing up.
I had many favorite songs.
Well, how about just tell us a few?
Give us a few of them.
Well, one of them was "That's Your Last Boogie."
That's your last boogie? Okay.
Where was that? Who sung that?
Yeah, who sung that?
And
Who sung that one? Who sung that one? Your Last Boogie. Who sung that? Who sang that song?
don't remember.
Don't remember?
That's your last boogie. That's your last boogie. That's your last boogie. You won't boogie woogie anymore.
What was your favorite food? What is your favorite food?
Another king.
Chicken and
I
potatoes.
recall.
Chicken and potatoes? Okay.
Cat named Paul.
Hard workers.
Mm-hmm.
Hard workers.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin T. Coley, he told me when my parents were dying, and my uncles of my co-workers' family they were a lot white, and they were alive and kicking. And I was very upset to see my people die, and they're kicking. He said to me, "Burrell, them words work hard. They work themselves to death." And that was the only thing I could see. And he was right. But my father drove a coal truck for a living, and my cousin T used to go with him. In the small streets, he would drive on the corner, shovel coal into the sack, and take the coal to the house.
Wow.
Yeah, he did that for a while. And I think he died from lung cancer, and that was from the coal dust. One of the most important lessons he taught me, he said, to the white man, you always be a nigger. And he said, whether you're rich or poor, you're still a nigger. Whether you're educated or dumb, you're just a smart nigger, and you're a dumb nigger. And that impressed me all the time, going on job interviews, and I see it, because different times, I worked for the government on job interviews, and my first interview for promotion, the guy told me, okay, you selected. So I go back to the office and tell them I was accepted. And I'm waiting for 2 weeks. And my supervisor called, well, when are you going to take him? He said, he was selected, but not accepted.
Wow.
First job. And I have other memories.
Wow.
I to all the time. Well, being associated with my sisters and brothers, because now that they're gone, I really miss them. And I think about them now and smile, because they had a lot to do with my character. And it kept me informed. Another thing, they always told me that they loved me. No matter how they treated me, they told me that they loved me. Yes, my youngest brother is still alive. That's George. He's named after Uncle George.
Who was the youngest though?
And I call him, try to call him every day. We speak every day.
Who was the youngest? Who was the youngest of your brothers and sisters?
Well, here it is. It was Burrell Massey, and he died when he was about 11 years old. Then there was Robert Massey. He died in
See, my connection is bad here. I can't.
1990 something. Then there
Hopefully
was
it'll come back.
Causmic Massey, and she died in, I think, 2000 something. And then there was S.E. Harris Massey. She died in
Early 2000s.
don't remember, in 2000 and something. And then there's Josephine Massey, and she's still alive. That's the only surviving sister. That is the only one that was alive when Grandpa died, because the older sisters and brothers would talk about Grandpa all the time. And I would say, I remember that they told me I wasn't born because Grandpa died in March and I was born in November.
Oh, wow.
And then there's Elijah Massey, and then there's Ann Massey Ford, and then there's Eric Massey Braxton, and then there was Eva May, and that's 11.
You forgot Uncle Bernard.
Whoa, yep. Uncle, and Bernard was born after Dorothy. Be honest and work hard.
That's some good advice.
Having so many aunts and uncles and so many sisters and brothers. I have many stories that I like to share. I can't think of any right now.
Okay.
But we were very close growing up. Very close.
How about the story about Uncle Elijah with the dog Boots? Remember that story? You share that one. That's a good one.
When I was going to school, I think I was in the second or third grade. And boys used to run me home from school. So I had my brother bring the dog close to school and wait for me in the alley. So when I started running, he would let the dog out.
Which brother?
Elijah did that.
Oh, Elijah?
Yeah, man, he was a huge dog. How long have you guys been holding the reunion?
We started in 2018.
Started when?
2018.
2018.
Okay. Oh,
but that's the entire family though. So this is the first time we're going to have the entire family with all of the brothers and sisters. So the reunion you guys have been having is mostly for the Burrell Massey family, but we're now including all of the brothers and sisters, Tony, Burrell, Pete, and Ellis Massey. So we're including the entire family, and it's a lot of people.
And what part of the Massey family are you from?
I am from the Tony Massey family.
From who?
Tony Massey.
Thomas?
Tony.
Tony.
So I wish we could pull up the family tree so that you can kind of see how it all connects. I think my dad is going to be your second cousin, if I'm not mistaken.
My second cousin?
My dad is you all are second cousins, you and him.
What do you say is that your dad, how can I say? Look, Your dad was Burrell Massey's brother.
My dad's grandfather was Burrell Massey's brother.
Her grandfather was Burrell Massey's brother.
All right, that's what I'm That's right. And that was Tony Massey.
Tony Massey.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever travel to Georgia?
Say again?
Did you ever travel to Georgia?
Never did.
Wow.
Matter of fact, all of them boys were ran out of Georgia. I think the only one who went to Georgia was Uncle Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only one. Because you heard about Uncle Monroe.
Mm-hmm. I have heard. You want to tell that story?
It was what?
She says, you want to tell that story?
Yeah. I think they were living on the farm. He had a house on the farm. And Uncle George told me this story. And a white guy was having sex with Uncle George's wife. And Uncle Monroe kicked his butt. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff told Burrell to get him out of there because they're coming to lynching that night. Because Burrell Massey's grandmother was born in England. Mm-hmm. And she was a servant to Massey in England. And he came to the United States and started a farm. And he had big time influence. And that's why the sheriff, they respected the white man and his money. And that's why the sheriff had enough respect for Burrell to tell my grandfather to get him out of town. And they ran another one out of town.
Yes, a couple of them that they ran out of there. I can't think of his name right now, but he left after he killed a white man for something. So, and he had to take flight that night.
Uncle George said, "They're mean, Burrell. They're mean."
Same thing my dad says. There's some mean ones in this family. They don't play.
It seemed like everyone was very close, and parents would look out for other people's children, and parents respected other people because it seemed like everybody knew the way you were supposed to come home. And if you come home a different way, they would tell you, and I'm going to tell your mother.
Living situation.
It was a 3-bedroom house, and
It was a 4-bedroom
had
house.
bathroom inside,
Mm-hmm.
and Uncle George would come to visit. We were sleeping head to toe.
What does that mean?
Sleep with boys, the girls sleep with girls, and that's what we did, head to toe.
What does head to toe mean?
Say again?
What does head to toe mean?
It means everybody be in bed, but you will not be facing somebody else. You be facing their foot.
Oh, okay.
Get more people in bed that way.
Like sardines, basically.
The mom said it was 4 bedrooms.
It was 4 bedrooms.
Hmm?
The house was 4 bedrooms. The house was 4 bedrooms, not 3.
It was small.
Yeah, I know, but it was 4 bedrooms though. But there were small rooms.
Y'all have 4 bedrooms. Y'all have 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
4 bedrooms.
Okay.
But it was a crowded house.
Yeah.
They were with all those kids.
Hmm?
I said, with all those kids, of course it was.
And we had 4 dogs.
4 dogs?
4 dogs.
Wow. Well, that was a lot of, you can. Come on.
It was, well, actually, they were responsibility of the children.
This is my husband, Al.
Hello.
He just wanted to come and say hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Had a doctor's appointment over the phone.
Doing everything virtual now. So.
Everything.
Hi.
Julietta.
Good morning.
So with all those mouths to feed, how did your mother do it? Was she the only one that was cooking?
Was your mother the only one cooking? How does she manage with all the kids?
And the dog.
All day until Mary Coley died, she would be there also.
Okay.
That was her mother.
Okay.
Cooking on what you call a wooden stove. You know what that is?
I don't. I actually was gonna get on Google and check that out.
And probably see him in the movies. I don't recall what movie I seen it. And could do miracles with it. Fried, baked, and everything.
Wow. Is that the stove that they would put the wood in and it was like a long pipe going up?
Yeah, that was one model, yeah, but there are different kinds of models that they use, but you know, it was charred by wood and coal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Typically made of cast iron.
47 Pontiac.
47.
I think I bought that in the 50s, early 50s. I was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2 girls and a boy.
Okay.
It was Stephanie, then Burrell Martin, and then Anna Massey,
Okay.
Anna Monica.
Virginia.
I remember Jesse.
You do?
Yep.
What kind of person was he?
All I remember about him, he would come up once a year, bring crabs and fruits and vegetables. And I remember his wife's name was Vi.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a green car. It was a Lincoln Continental.
Oh, that's big time for back then,
This
wasn't
was in the 30s. This was in the 30s.
it? Ooh, that's big time.
Yeah.
Remember your grandchildren?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's see how sharp you are.
Let's see, Stephanie had 3, Philip, Anna, and Stephen.
Yep.
Maury has 2. Oh my God. And that's Louise and Sam. Monica has 3. That's Benta, Zana, and Kareem.
Kareem's the oldest. I'm not even going to ask you to name your grandchildren. You won't even remember that. I said, I remember your great-grandchildren. No, he has 3.
3?
Yes. Louise has Joseph,
Yeah, exactly.
and then Philip has Luna and Phoenix. Yeah, I almost missed
I'm 87 years old, and mine's not what it used to be, but I enjoy it.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, thank you very much. We enjoyed having you on.